Fists don't become durable just because you hit things harder. What actually builds strong hands is how your body adapts to stress over time. A lot of people jump straight into smashing walls or throwing full power punches on a heavy bag, thinking that's how fighters do it. But that approach usually leads to pain, injury, and setbacks. Real hand conditioning is slower, more controlled, and far more deliberate than that. Your hands are made up of small bones, joints, and connective tissue that need time to adapt. When you apply the right kind of pressure consistently, your body responds by reinforcing those structures. But if the stress is too aggressive too early, your body doesn't get stronger. It just tries to protect itself. The goal here isn't to damage your hands. It's to gradually teach them how to handle force without breaking down. A lot of people also overlook how important structure is. A strong punch isn't just about the knuckles. It depends on how well your wrist, forearm, and hand are aligned when you make contact. If that alignment is off, even slightly, all the force gets distributed incorrectly, and that's when injuries happen. So before you even think about hitting harder, you need to build a solid foundation. One of the simplest ways to start is by using your body weight to create controlled pressure. Get into a knuckle push-up position on a hard surface, but don't rush through reps. Lower yourself slowly and pause near the bottom. Pay attention to where the pressure is going. You want it traveling cleanly through your first two knuckles while your wrist stays straight and stable. This kind of static pressure helps your bones and joints adapt without the shock of impact, which makes it a much safer way to build strength early on. Once that structure feels stable, you can start working on conditioning the outer layer of your hands. This is where sensitivity and grip strength come into play. If your skin and nerves aren't used to friction and resistance, even light impact can feel uncomfortable. A simple method is using a container filled with rice. When you push your hands into it, twist, squeeze, and pull through it, you're creating resistance in multiple directions. Over time, this helps toughen the skin, reduce sensitivity, and strengthen the smaller muscles in your hands that support your grip and control. After that, you can begin introducing actual striking, but this is where patience really matters. Instead of going all out, you start with controlled contact on a slightly firm surface, like a sand-filled bag. The goal isn't to hit as hard as possible. It's to land clean, accurate strikes with proper alignment. The sand absorbs some of the force while still providing enough resistance to stimulate adaptation. Each punch should feel deliberate, not explosive. You're building tolerance, not testing limits. As your hands adjust, the intensity increases naturally. You don't need to force it. Your body will let you know when it's ready for more. If your technique stays consistent and your structure holds up, you'll notice your punches starting to feel more solid and stable. If something feels off or painful in a sharp way, that's a sign to pull back and correct it. To make real progress, consistency matters more than intensity. Instead of doing everything in one session, you can spread your training across the week. Some sessions focus more on light contact and control, others on structure and pressure, and some on applying what you've built with more intent. Giving your hands time to recover between sessions is just as important as the training itself, because that's when the actual adaptation happens. Over time, this kind of training changes how your punches feel. You're not hesitating on impact anymore. Your hands feel stable, your wrist stays aligned, and your strikes carry more confidence behind them. It's not about trying to turn your fists into something indestructible overnight. It's about building them step by step so they can handle real force when it matters. If you stay consistent with this approach, you'll notice that your hands don't just feel tougher, they feel more reliable. And that's the real goal. Not just harder punches, but better control, better structure, and the ability to strike without worrying about your hands failing you.